A slew of Fed speak scheduled for today as investors await President Trump's pick for the Fed governor. Trump saying he will make a decision before the end of the week. Bloomberg's Michael McKee joining us now. Mike, we learned yesterday that one person, Scott Bessent, out of the race. 4 candidates that we understand. What's the process going to be like to get this person in that seat?
Well, the process is going to take a while because the person who goes to that seat is going to have to be confirmed by the Senate. And as we know, you've got to fill out a lot of paperwork, and then you've got to go through the hearing process. You make your rounds on Capitol Hill, shaking hands and making nice with senators. And if you get through the banking committee, then you go on to the Senate floor, which is pretty crowded with a lot of nominations these days. So nothing's a slam dunk at this point, which maybe means that for the moment, until we know who it's going to be, you should pay attention to what other Fed officials are saying about the possibility of a rate cut in September. We have several speaking this week, including Mary Daly today, and she is the one person that seems to have flipped her view, saying she's out of patience and she thinks maybe it's time to start cutting rates. We've also got Raphael Bostic tomorrow, and he has been the strongest perhaps in saying only one rate cut this year. Does he change his mind? Heading to the question, though, of who becomes the Fed chair. There are 3 candidates we know about at this point, the Kevins, as the president calls them, and Chris Waller, who's on the Fed board now, would not have to be nominated to the Fed board, but would have to be nominated to be chair. And then there's the mystery guest, because the president said there are 4 candidates, but he took Scott Bessent out of it. You can read all through the newspapers and wire services and stuff this morning and read a lot of different speculation on names. The question for the president, though, is how does he do this? And that's the biggest and most fascinating issue for me and for people on Wall Street. He could name his new chair in waiting to the Kugler seat, but then you end up with that shadow Fed chair issue. Who does the market listen to? Does it cause dissension on the Fed? He could name a replacement governor for Kugler, somebody who would just serve for a couple of months. But if Powell stays, it may be his only chance to name somebody to the seat. He could name a replacement now and choose a chair later, but then you get that apprentice scenario of maybe Warsh or Hassett and Bowman and Waller all auditioning for the job while they're trying to carry out monetary policy until the president makes a decision. So it's going to be very interesting. And
Mike, this is what I'm stuck on. How does he decide going forward? The president said yesterday we either decide on one for permanence or the 4-month period. What would be the point of having someone there for 4 months, given the fact that this takes a lot of time and it's challenging potentially at times when it comes to getting the Senate confirmation?
Yeah, and the other question on the other side of that, Anne-Marie, is that you have to ask who would want that job. You would have to divest all of your financial holdings. You would have to reveal all of your financial holdings and go through the confirmation process, which can be pretty brutal. And there's no guarantee that you're going to stay on. That would be a tough ask for anyone. Plus the fact, as we mentioned, it takes a long time to get through the Senate. Even if they rushed it through, probably not ready for the September meeting. And then there are only 2 more meetings this year. So you might serve for 2 months. I'm not sure that that's worth it to anybody.